12 most interesting animal rescues. Number 12, the baby sloth. This little baby sloth's name is Monster, and she is a favorite at the sanctuary, Kids Saving the Rainforest. She is the favorite of the woman who runs the sanctuary because when she first came to the sanctuary, Monster was completely inconsolable because she missed her mother and kept the shelter up all night with her screaming and crying. She was only 2 weeks old when she came in, and she was found alone trying to cross the street. When the employer came in the next day, one person asked how the sloth was, and she said that it was a monster. The sloth, despite the less than flattering first impression, is a very sweet animal. She has since been released into the wild and she is doing well for herself. Number 11, baby elephant. In October 2014, a baby elephant was rescued by David Shieldrick Wildlife Trust in Kenya. They received a report about a baby elephant that had fallen down a well in the Milgis Luga region in Kenya. They tried to reunite the elephant calf with the herd, but the effort failed until they were forced to take the elephant into their sanctuary. When they went to go rescue the abandoned calf, they unexpectedly stumbled upon 2 baby ostriches as well. They ended up naming the calf Woz after the area that he was rescued at. He was eventually returned to the wild after he was well enough to take care of himself. Number 10, hummingbird. In 2014, this little hummingbird was found stuck in some grass, thanks to some chewing gum that was thrown onto the grass. The bird was rescued by a family. When they stumbled upon it, they took all the sticky residue off the bird's wings so that it could fly away. A stuck hummingbird is dangerous because they need to maintain their extremely high metabolism by eating almost consistently. Number 9, chihuahua. This little chihuahua was found abandoned on the side of the interstate in California. It's unclear how this animal came to be abandoned, but it is more likely that it was a product of abuse. The animal was rescued by police and taken to the Contra Costa Animal Service Shelter in Martinez, California. The dog was 2 years old and it bore no outward sign of abuse, but it was extremely frightened when it was found. Number 8, bald eagle. This bald eagle is one of the most heartbreaking rescue stories that came out during 2014. This bald eagle was discovered in the waters of British Columbia, Canada by a fisherman named Dan Dunbar. The bird was very young and it was too exhausted to even fly away. He was able to retrieve the bird using his net and waited for his wings to dry because he believed that it was just a matter of its wings being wet. When the bird still couldn't fly away, he brought it to a shelter to be examined. They found out what actually happened to the bird, but they believed that it tried to pick up a fish that was too big for it and was unable to let it go. That actually happens to a lot of birds of prey because they don't let go of food, even if they are unable to get it. Unfortunately, the bird died after 6 months of care. Number 7, baby fox. This baby fox wasn't really rescued from any kind of abuse or life-threatening situation, but it was rescued from being stuck with a tin can on its head. The owner of the backyard has always seen that its food was being stolen, but he didn't know what the foxes came to his backyard to eat until he found this little guy flopping around. He removed the tin can from its kit's head, and the kid thanked the man by letting him get in a few pats before he returned to his mother. Number 6, Baba the blind cat. This kitty cat was rescued in 2013 after his original owner abandoned him. He was born blind and without eyelids, so the original owner thought that he was too ugly and tossed him out when he was just a few weeks old. Despite not being able to see, Baba is easily able to get around. He uses his other senses as well as his ability to see shadows and the outline of some objects. Baba usually wouldn't have gotten rescued because animals with disabilities rarely are, but the shelter that he was taken to was able to find him a good home. Today he enjoys playing with toys and the dog that his owner also has. He is also able to get around their house without any problems because he has memorized the layout. Number 5, baby bat. This weird looking guy was found in 2010 after her mother dropped her mid-flight. She was immediately taken to the Secret World Wildlife Rescue in East Huntsville in England. She was named Cruella and she was only a week old when they found her. They said that it was a challenge getting Cruella to eat and retain muscle composition. The baby bat gained attention because it looks almost exactly like a pissed off gremlin from the classic 1984 horror movie of the same name. Nevertheless, the deformed little bat is still adorable. It's an accomplishment really. Number 4, baby orangutan. Buddy the orangutan became an internet sensation when the story of his rescue was revealed by the International Animal Rescue. The rescue of Buddy happens in January 2015, where he was trapped in the chicken coop for 10 months straight, being fed only condensed milk. When he was rescued, he was in critical conditions because of severe signs of malnutrition due to the lack of protein or any other nutrients in his body. Buddy was so weak that he couldn't move and he couldn't even open his mouth to eat. His limbs were so deformed because they did not have any calcium to grow properly. The team of vets and the shelter said that it was amazing that he survived his 10 months crammed in that chicken coop. Since the story broke, the shelter has received $50,000 in donations and he is now eating and responding to treatment. Number 3. Stitch. This adorable little kitten is named Stitch and she was rescued in December of 2015 from an industrial warehouse in Australia along with the rest of her family. She was found with her mother and 2 siblings hiding under a forklift where her previous owner had abandoned her. When she was found, she had to be treated for an eye condition, but she recovered quickly and was kept by the shelter so that she could comfort sick animals. She provides comfort for the other animals that are being cared for at the shelter, particularly the rescue sheep and lambs. The shelter says that she acts as the unofficial adoptive mother to all the other animals and that she takes her duties very seriously. She is there for every procedure and she says goodnight to the other animals every night. Number 2. Bear rescue. Bears often wander into residential areas where they can cause a panic among anyone who encounters them. This particular bear wandered from his home in Ocella National Forest to a residential area in Alligator Point in Florida. Since rescuing 400-pound black bears that have giant claws isn't the easiest thing in the world, the use of tranquilizers was approved so that the bear could be safely transported home. The bear didn't like that though. When the bear was shot with the tranquilizer, it immediately took off into the ocean, and it got past the dock 75 feet past the shore before the tranquilizers kicked in, and it started to drown. Adam Warwick with the Wildlife Commission was swimming nearby though, and he was able to grab the bear and drag it to shore while the tranq took effect. He had to struggle to keep the bear's head above water, and the bear got progressively heavier as the drug took effect, but both were able to get to the shore without any damage to either of them. They had to get a forklift to transport the bear once it was safe on shore, and they were able to return the black bear to the Ocella National Forest. Number 1. Party Cat. This cute little kitty and his owner first met at a gas station when the biker saw the abandoned cat hiding in the parking lot and suffering severe burns. Biker Pat Dottie was on a cross-country trip from Nevada to New Jersey when he stopped at the gas station. He knew that the cat needed immediate medical attention because of his burns, and he gave him a name while taking him to the vet. The cat was named Party Cat, in one of the best names ever given to a cat. The biker says that Party Cat is pretty much healed except for a burn on its lip, and his owner keeps him in the vest while he finishes his road trip. The cat and the owner ended up being an unlikely match, but it's obvious that they were both very happy together.